So anyway, Venerable, thank you so much for updating. And now I have a question for you. So what does Visakha Pūjā Day mean to you? Would you please help explain in a very simple way for those who new to Buddhism, for those who new to Visakha Pūjā Day as well? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question for me. It's about how does Visākha Pūjā means to me. But for everybody else, you may have different meaning when you talk about Visākha Pūjā. But in general, as you have already understood from the talk of Venerable Singh Hai, he already mentioned about the remarkable events, the three events that happened to the Buddha, his life, enlightenment, and Parinibbana. So this is the very remarkable and auspicious day for Buddhists and all people around the world, not just the Buddhists. But to me personally, it really means a lot because as I am a Buddhist monk, as I am a disciple of the Buddha, it really has an important meaning for me as a Buddhist monk. And also it reminds me of who I am when we honor the Buddha by practicing his teaching, by celebrating Visākha Pūjā. It reminds me of who I am and the source, the origin of why I can become a monk is because of Buddhism, because of the teachings of the Buddha, because of the dispensation, the sasana that the Buddha expounded come as a teaching the Dharma to the world. Otherwise, I would have been as a monk without the teachings of Buddhism. So in that regard, it really means a lot to me. And also, if we were to talk among all events in Buddhism, Visākha Pūjā is the most important event in Buddhism because it commemorates the three main events throughout the historical life of the Buddha since the day he was born, that which is fall on the 15th full moon day of Visakha, the lunar month of May, and again at the age of 35 years when he attained to complete enlightenment, Sammasambuddha. This is also very special event for the world, not just for the Buddha himself. When he attained to complete enlightenment, fully endowed with knowledge and wisdom, and practices virtue, compassion, and purity, it means he has brought the light to the world through his teaching. We cannot imagine a day without the enlightenment of the Buddha, how the world would be without the teaching right now, which is still very relevant to the contemporary world. And with the third event that happened at the age of 80 years when the Buddha Parinibbana, he completely passed away at the age of 80, which is also fall on the 15th full moon day of Visakha. So because of these three main events that happened miraculously, wonderfully happen on the same day and month, that remarks the one of the most important event in Buddhism. And we as a Buddhist always remind us of the great virtues, attributes, and the great compassion of the Buddha that he has delivered to all beings, regardless of race, colors, religious belief, beings or non-human beings, human beings and non-human beings, all people who have sattha or confidence in listening to his teaching can attain full liberation. So to me personally, in conclusion, I think it's really very important meaning to me as a Buddhist and as a Buddhist monk, a disciple of the Buddha, to commemorate, also to celebrate the Visākha Pūjā in honor of the teachings of the Buddha himself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable. Really much appreciated for your insight. Let me just repeat what you have just said.